Welcome to Stray, a game about cat. And it's a game about environmental storytelling and, well, whatever you say. It's a game about cat and telling a story about, with method of environmental storytelling. So let's just begin. And I played with this little bit before, so I'm going quite blind to this little review, and when I played it I was quite impressed by this, but let's just see how well it fares. Let's start. New game. Okay, and here's the game begins. The cat can move. There's some... Already there's environmental storytelling telling that this place is tropical and something like akin to either long abandoned or you could say post-apocalyptic. Okay, I'm not an expert on cats, but I think they are not particularly social animals because of they are felines. Felines are generally, you could say, but the player character is this orange striped cat. I don't know is it a male or female. And I know certain that the developers spent lots of time studying how cats move, look and all that. But they did put a little bit of a, you could say, little bit of change to the how cats walk. Because if cat is basically moving around relaxed, it's gonna keep its tail up. But this one is keeping its tail down because of, well, the developers realized that players most likely don't want to watch a cat's rear end for the majority of the game. So, and of course, knowing the setting of this game, it might make kind of sense that the cats have, or these cats have different, you could say, behaviors. But that's just cute. Oh. Alright. And that's some sort of writing. But, and of course this is already telling that this is something like akin to a post-apocalyptic setting. Oh yeah, and cats are very agile animals. But I would still be quite, you could say, bit confused or iffy about cats being this social. Of course, I do not necessarily know how much of a is this cat adult or a kitten. it might be adult. It most likely is adult cat, but which of course would mean that. Which of course means that it is fully. It would not be in this kind of you could say social environments because of them being cats. Of course. Yeah, and there's a vocalization button just to make sure that yep, this orange cat is cute. It can make cute cat sounds and. Yeah, and it can jump real high. But this might be something like a, you could say, almost feral or wild, or become a wild cat. Because when you look about the story settings or story, how it reveals itself, cats are show, or at least this cat shows, unusual amount of intelligence. So it might sometimes, so you could say, feel like that there might have been some sort of tampering or selective breeding, of course, with cats. But also might be something like a, you could say, intelligence enhancement for cats. Which of course might also slightly explain why they are much more social than I would expect from pack cats to be. And of course the cat keeping its tail down might be explain something like they are quite wary of their environment. And the gameplay's general difficulty of this game is not much. This is much more about game to like the story than I would say learn about the story than basically human personnel only. That's actually a quite interesting little detail that yeah, there's human personnel only doors. So, which is when you actually get further, you notice that that's a very subtle sign of foreshadowing. Although the game doesn't really give much answers of what has happened during the very long time. And this is in the future. But I would guess that these cats could be quite effective hunters if they are basically, you could say, real pack animals instead of just 4 individual cats appearing at the same location. Knowing that the cats already are quite effective and efficient predators, despite being of small size. And yeah. Yeah. Nervous. Yeah, the last of the runt. Always falling on their feet didn't work now. I guess it's real scared. A hurt cat. But the feline reflexes have saved it from most severe injuries. But it's now alone. And the change of the setting is now very effectively changed the mood of the game as well. Yeah, it got hurt. But some things are getting awake. All this storytelling without a single line of dialogue, of understandable line of dialogue. But there is some life, seems to be, in addition to plants and cats. But once again, the cat can now move around. From up there. Quite a long way, but thanks to all kinds of bumps, it's alive and not hurt. Ah, there's a gameplay cue. The cat turns its head towards important locations. Dead City. That's kind of ominous name for a chapter, although not as ominous as Dead Space is. That there's things in here which really works to tell that how basically ominous location it is. There's cameras, settle and home buildings in here. So there's lots of, you could say, yeah, no escape. So now the cat is basically in abandoned underground city area. And of course, because it's a cat, it's also very agile. It can go quite easily, climb quite difficult, quite small ledges. Well, because it's a small cat, they are help. Yep, that grimy stuff doesn't feel like something that would be pleasant to go. So for humans this would be impossible, almost impossible area to navigate. But to cat, not. And there's signs. Specifically to cat. So it's a... Yeah, the cat can also pick up items. And that would be the first puzzle of the game, how to break the fan. And because of these players' input, cat can do way more complex, you could say, actions than you could expect from the, you could say, regular or feral house cat. Yep, that's a nice little puzzle. And cat can also push things over the ledge, because that's what cats do. That would be kind of humorous thing, also applying to something like a cats being a bit of having mischievous nature. But this one, yep, ledges and items on the ledge and grab cats mean items will be dropped over the ledge. But attempting to climb upwards. Okay, where did I? Oh, that's a big jump. I don't know, could a basic cat do that high jump? I know cats can do quite impressive feats of, you could say, agility and jumping and running, but I don't know, is that within feline, basically mobility of domestic cats. But I can drop down there. Of course I can drop. Let's go look around here. No, there's no way to climb through here. This game is not that. Come on. Okay, let's just go. Let's just try carrying this bucket up there. Maybe this can. Yeah, that's a long drop down there for a small kitten. A small cat. So, what can be said about Stray? I know that me getting stuck in this most likely very elementary low-level puzzle of the right at the beginning of the game that I remember I have gone through is so very riveting. So, I'm gonna end this review saying that yep, this is a good game. Not the, you could say, the most interesting in a sense that, but it's a very strong case of basically telling. Occasionally, you could say sad story, but occasionally also funny and heartwarming story, without basically any kind of human characters in it. Besides, it's got a cute cat as a protagonist. So what kind of why wouldn't you like a game which has a cute cat as a protagonist? Cute cats adding a cute cat to a game is always a bonus to your game design. So I'll be ending this review right here. This game gets 8 out of 10 points in my documentation book. See ya.